never took the time to share, video, full video, how I got started working online. And maybe that's the video for today. I'm not going to dive too deep into the story because I think even 15 years later, I still can't believe how unbelievable this is, like really unbelievable. But I am grateful that this is an opportunity that I had back then and that now it has become what it is. If I hadn't taken that leap, I wouldn't be here telling you about working online. I wouldn't be here coaching you about how you too can start your remote work journey, especially in this time, in this society, in this economy where we live, where we feel like one source of income is no longer enough. One source of income is no longer enough for anything. So I want to tell you about how I got started working online. And if you have any questions, of course, you will let me know in the comments below. So when I started, I was still a student, right? And I had big dreams, which I still have. I mean, I've always been a huge dreamer. I had big dreams to become a doctor, which I am, by the way. It's not like, the dreams were not achieved or anything. It's not that kind of story, okay? The dreams were achieved. Thank God, hallelujah, and thank mom. However, at some point in my medical education, and I studied out of my home country. My home country is Cameroon, and I moved to Dominica, with my sister to study medicine. And at some point in my education, as an international student, who has moved abroad, there are challenges that you face. And if you know anyone who has studied abroad, you will know these challenges. If you have studied abroad, you will know these challenges. If you have a sibling, a friend who has studied abroad, you will know these challenges. And one of the biggest challenge, beyond just like acclimatization, beyond just cultural adaptation and everything, is finances. Living out of your home country is not easy. You are faced with like different financial costs, and then even doing so, even like as a teenager-ish, young adult, is even much harder. But anyways, that wasn't really my issue. My issue was the fact that in the midst of my medical education, my mom's company, they experienced layoffs like a lot of people are seeing right now, and she was made redundant. Now, my mom has raised us in a way that we've always felt like, she was superwoman, and she is still superwoman to my eyes. Okay, mom, she's superwoman, and we always knew that no matter what would happen, she has it figured out. Like, she will make things happen, it will work out. And so when she was made redundant, we were like, she's gonna figure it out. I mean, in a way, it pinched my heart. Like, okay, is this what happens when we don't have a job? Like, what exactly is going to happen, right? And in a family of four, where everybody is not at the level where they are going to higher education, is challenging. So we felt like, she was going to figure it out anyways. But then she told us, or she didn't even tell us, she made us understand that we would have to make concessions because, it's challenging, because all of us were overseas, all of us were, like in at high levels of education, like getting degrees and so forth. And so the cost of education was a lot higher. It's not like you are doing like high school or primary school, right? So then for that time, we had to pause our school curriculum until she could get another job to be able to pay for the school fees. And so, but we also figured that, at least we are okay with that because we have already completed half of the medical school curriculum. We only have the second half, and we can wait until the money comes. But if we have at least enough money to be able to provide for ourselves, like, just the basic expenses, like, your food, your rent, not even money for like entertainment or anything, but like your food, your rent, your bills, then we will be good. So my mom, she sent us money for that, but then we also had to ration that money. And at that point, I had a friend who was working online, and initially I wasn't even interested in that because I was like, what really is that anyways? We had a friend who was working online, and one day we were spending time with her, and she was telling us that, she's working online, she's using this computer, and she's just working from home, she's working with a company in XYZ, and she was just kind of like giving us brief details about what it is. And my sister, who, I'm adventurous, but she's more adventurous, she was like, let's try it, so she signed up on the website first, and then she started to apply for jobs, apply for opportunities, and she got a job. And I was like, oh wow, that's super cool. she got an opportunity in customer service, and she was able to work in that field for a company that was also in the healthcare field, which aligned with what we wanted to do. And it was still part of the gig economy, so it was just like, you know, little change and so forth. And she got a job, and I was like, at first I was like, what are you really doing? Like, you are just in front of your computer. Maybe you, like, I didn't really, I mean, I knew she was working, but I'm like, what kind of work could that be? Like, what kind of things could you be doing? Like, what exactly are you doing, right? But then after her first month of working there, she got paid real money, and I was like, oh, you actually doing real work, like you actually getting real money, you know. And even though when she was working, she was still skeptical. She was just like, you know, I was just gonna see what it's going to be like, you know, at the end of the month. So she made the money, and then she got her money. The money landed in her account, and she was able to withdraw the money. And I was like, wow, okay, this is a real thing now. Okay, fine. Then even though I had seen her do that for a month, I was still like, nah, I don't know if I can do this. But I think I only started maybe 3 months after she started, and you know, I can't give you the exact timeline, but it's just to tell you that sometimes we see opportunities but we don't jump on them. And she was just kind of like encouraging me, pushing me, and eventually I signed up as well, and I was like, okay, how do I figure out this thing? Eventually I figured it out. I applied for a job. There was this doctor who had written a book on psychoanalysis. Maybe one day he will see this video. And he wanted somebody to translate it from English to French, or from French to English, I can't remember, but he wanted somebody to translate it. And I applied for the job. I speak French because I'm from Cameroon, and I learned English actually to speak English in school, and my English got better when I moved to Dominica. And so I knew how to use English and French, but I wasn't as fluent in English as I am right now. And so I put my all in that translation. I used software, I used my own knowledge, I had people to proofread it for me, I had my sister proofread it for me. I went above and beyond for me to be able to deliver that. And his timeline was 3 weeks, right? Because he wanted to send the book for reviewing before it is published and so forth. So within three weeks, I translated that book. And then when I sent him the first draft, he was impressed. He was like, wow, this is really good work. And I was able to do that just with having my medical knowledge and also my knowledge of English and my knowledge of French. Granted, I had never worked as a translator. I had never taken any translation course. I had never done anything like that. And I just knew the languages, and I knew the subject matter, which was medicine, healthcare. So he was really happy, and then he gave me a great review on the platform. And from that moment, I realized that, wow, it's actually this easy to make money. Like, all you need is your skill, all you need is courage, and all you need is grit to keep going, even if you are afraid. I was like, we are in business, let's get this done. So after that first job and that pay and that good feeling, like that satisfaction that I had done something amazing and I had a good review, I then went so hard into this online job thing. I kept applying, I kept receiving projects, I kept working with clients, I kept getting work done, and I kept growing and growing and growing. And that is how I eventually became the brand that you know today. To this day, I will forever be grateful to that friend. I will forever be grateful to my sister. For pushing me. I will forever be grateful to myself. I will forever be grateful even for that hardship, because I think sometimes we look at our situations, we look at our hardships as a blockage or a barrier, not realizing that it could actually be the stepping stone that we need for us to get to the next level, and the thing that will actually open doors for us, you know, for what we want to do. So sharing this message to let you know that out of adversity, you know, you can decide how you want to move. You can either retreat or you can move ahead and see what is beyond that challenge and see who you become when you overcome that. And maybe you are in a position right now where you're feeling like you don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, you're not happy with where you are in life right now, and you want to make more, and you feel like there is a way for you to make more. And if this is you, then this video is for you. I shared how I started out of struggle, out of a challenge, out of having had my back against the wall. And this is where I am today. And there is no stopping, there is no retreating. And I think even that experience taught me how to persevere, how to get things, and how to push despite adversity. Because adversity is always going to be there. Challenges are always going to be there. But the real thing is, are you going to wake up every single day, pick yourself up, step into your next level of genius, step into who you are supposed to be, to have the things that you are supposed to have? This is my question for you, and this is my call to you, and this is my invitation for you. So if you are at a stage where you're feeling like you really want to work online, you are ready to level up your income, you are ready to elevate yourself, I'm going to put the different products and different services I'm offering right now in the first comment of this video, and pick whatever suits you. It could be the remote work guide for you to just figure out how to navigate this, on your own. Within 90 days, by the end of this year, you will be well on your way. It could be the Remote Work Fast Track Accelerator, which is a 6 weeks intensive program with me where I'm actually coaching you every single day to help you to get those results. Or it could be a VIP experience, which I actually just launched, and which is for people who really want that one-on-one hand-on support, in their remote work journey. So pick whatever suits you. Or you can also just decide to continue hanging out with me here every single day for the rest of the year. Let's finish September 1st for the rest of the year. And get this coaching, get this encouragement for you to pick yourself up and do what you're supposed to do. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you want me to talk about in the next video. See you tomorrow.